Yo, when kings talk, the conversation different, but you already know that. I'm your host, OG Willing23. What's up, baby? Shout out to all y'all that keep tapping in with me. If you haven't tapped in to subscribe, hit that subscribe button, baby. It's going down. Miss Oprah Winfrey, man. Tell me why she being so cheap and she a billionaire. I mean, I get it. You want to save money, but come on, pay the people what they're worth, man. You had actresses and actors saying they wanted to walk off the set because they just didn't feel like they were being paid what they're worth. And what's Oprah's beef with Taraji P Henson? We all heard about the one with Miss Monique, and what seems like Oprah and Tyler Perry are like this, but I also heard that they've been bumping heads so far. It's crazy how these people get this fortune and this fame, and then it's like they lose their way. They feel like they can just do whatever it is that they want to. And Miss Oprah Winfrey, you would think that she would have a different outlook on things, being a black woman in the industry, making it to a height of success that many people reach. Oprah said she don't care. She'll pay them people what she wants to.
Chill, just when we thought Taraji and Oprah's feud couldn't get no worse, Monique and 50 Cent just entered the chat to expose Oprah for trying to use and manipulate everybody around her into making them do what she wants. This came after Oprah threatened Taraji into backtracking everything she said about her and forcing Taraji to appear in a sit-down interview on her show to do some damage control. Now, for those of y'all who didn't know, 50 Cent and Monique have actually been feuding with Oprah for some years now over blackballing them in the industry and trying to destroy their careers. They've been keeping their foot on her neck ever since, and it looks like they don't have any plans of letting off anytime soon, because they dragged Oprah for filth for being greedy and abusing other entertainers to build her own multi-billion-dollar empire.
So Tyler Perry says to me, listen, you may really want to consider promoting this film, because if you get nominated for an Oscar award, your next film is $3 to $5 million. And if you win it, your next film is $6 to $8 million. I said, Tyler, who are you talking to? I'm a black woman. Where do they pay those type of salaries, brother? I said, what I cannot do, Tyler, is work for free. I've done what I was supposed to do. I cannot go overseas and do this for free, Tyler. So then he goes on about his spiel, I said, well, listen, you can write me the check for me to go overseas. I don't care where the money comes from, but I'm not going to do it for free. He says, well, I don't believe in giving money away for free. I said, I don't believe in working for free, so we're on the same page.
Okay, so in case you somehow missed out on all the mess that's been going down for the last few days, Taraji put Oprah on blast and exposed her for paying her crumbs for her role in The Color Purple. According to Taraji, the initial amount that Oprah offered Taraji was so bad that she almost passed up on starring in the film as a whole. Taraji also revealed the reason why she took this personal was because Oprah was a black woman, so she was expecting her to stand up for her and do what's right. But Oprah did the opposite.
Where's my raise? I haven't seen a raise in my income since Proud Mary. And almost had to walk away from Color Purple. Yes, ma'am. Who said what? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Because you know what? If I don't take a stand, how am I making it easy for Fantasia and Danielle and Hallie and Felicia? So why am I doing this? If it's all just for me, why are you here? We are to service each other. God is very clever. He put us on this earth and he made us all look different. He made it complicated. We need to figure it out. And we can, and we are. You have to look at the glass as half full. It's always half full.
Taraji added fuel to the fire when she did an interview with Oprah's BFF, Gayle King, and went into details about what Oprah has been putting her and the other black actors through.
And I heard on the street, Taraji, you had the audacity to say you're thinking about stopping acting. We said, stop talking. Are you thinking about it?
I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost. I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over and over. You get tired. I hear people go, you work a lot. Well, have to. The math ain't mathing. I'm tired of hearing that my entire career, 20 plus years in the game, and I hear the same thing, and I see what you do for another production, and when it's time for us to go to bed, you don't have any money. They play in your face. And I'm just supposed to smile and grin and bear it and just keep, like, enough is enough.
Now, while all this commotion was going on, people could not help but point out how similar everything Taraji was going through to what Oprah did to 50 Cent and Monique. See, back when 50 started getting super famous for his music, he wanted to make an appearance on Oprah. This appearance would have helped him rebrand the image of an ex-drug dealer from Queens to a successful rapper. Not only that, but it would have made his grandma super proud, since she was a very big fan of Oprah. However, when he pitched the idea to Oprah, she declined and made it very clear that she wasn't interested in anything 50 Cent had going on. 50 took this rejection very personally and accused Oprah of being against black music, especially the type that he makes, and even called her an Oreo, black on the outside, white on the inside. I think she caters to older white women. She was completely against everything that was in my music, so she ain't never gonna have me on that show. I'm never gonna reach that platform, which is confirmation of being a huge success. So I just said, okay, if we can't be friends, then at least let's be enemies. Aside from calling her out and calling her a Karen, he decided to also be petty by naming his dog after Oprah and his cat after Oprah's bestie, Gayle King.
Named after the Oprah, and your cat's name is?
And Gayle.
Okay, Gayle.
Unfortunately, none of 50's attempts to call out Oprah actually worked, because just a few years later, she did something even worse to Monique by blackballing her. Monique and Oprah's feud started way back in 2009, when Monique appeared in the movie Precious, which was produced by Oprah and Tyler Perry, and directed by Lee Daniels. The real issue came in after Oprah and Tyler started forcing Monique to go on a press run for the film, with no payment whatsoever. Monique was not rocking with the BS, and told them she wasn't gonna do it for free, since it wasn't a part of her contract. According to Monique, she was only paid $50K for the entire movie, which was barely enough, and now they wanted her to leave her family behind and go around the world to promote the movie for free. However, Tyler and Oprah did not take Monique's refusal well at all, and started tarnishing her image in the industry by spreading a narrative about her being difficult to work with. Monique claims Tyler even went as far as to damage her reputation to director David Tolbert so she would lose acting jobs as some form of punishment.
You had difficult demands.
I want to address it for the order that it went in. And when Mr. Daniels said I had these demands, it shocked me because I was saying to the screen, Dawn, please ask them what the demands were. And actually, there were no demands. There was a request from the movie studio, and they called and requested that I fly to France for the Cannes Film Festival. I simply said I respectfully decline, because if you can remember at the time, there was a talk show called The Monique Show. I was doing a comedy tour. I was actually in the award season of the awards, and I'm also a wife, and I'm a mommy. So when they called, I had a couple days just downtime. I wanted to spend that with my husband and my kids. So when we said we respectfully decline, the movie studio called back again. And they said, okay, well, we'll upgrade her hotel room. And my husband simply said again, we respectfully decline. She's gonna take this time with her family.
Yeah.
Well, when the third call came, and they said, what is it gonna take to get Monique to France, to the Cannes Film Festival? And my husband said, is there a number associated with it? And they said, oh, we would never pay for anyone to do any promotions for a movie. And we said we understood, because what people didn't know was I was paid $50,000 to do the movie Precious. And it really wasn't about the money, and I'm not complaining, because I signed up to do it with my friend.
Yeah. But
So when the movie,
you're saying that because you didn't have the money to do this on your own. Is that what you're saying? That you needed to feed your family and pay your bill?
I think that's what America says.
Yeah.
I think we all say, I can't do it for free.
Right.
So when the movie studio says we can't set a precedent and pay you to do this, we didn't have an issue with them.
Okay.
But that's when the reports came that now Monique is being demanding and she's being difficult. They had a request. We simply had a request, and they said they couldn't do it, and we said we understood. That was it.
While Monique was talking about all this, she received pushback from everybody in the industry except for 50 Cent. He was the only one who stood with her. He posted a photo of her on his IG with the caption, "All in favor of Monique being back on top, say make it happen, 50. Stop effing around. I went to see Monique stand up during Super Bowl weekend. It was so good. She had me in a trance. You gotta go check her out." He then made another post demanding for Tyler and Oprah to apologize to Monique for what they had done to her, because he was gonna do everything in his power to bring her back on top again. He said, "I'm sure Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry would not want to continue to allow their influence to damage Monique's career. This has gone on for way too long. So now would be a great time to apologize, because I'm gonna put her back on. Green light, gang. I don't miss." Oh, but he wasn't done, because while Taraji was calling out Oprah for how awful she had been treated, 50 Cent did the exact same thing that he did for Monique by reposting a screenshot of an article about Taraji to his IG and announced that he was ready to work with Taraji. He said in the caption, "They dropped the ball. F 'em. Taraji, I'm ready to work. Let's get it." One thing 50 will always do is stand up and speak for black people. He is not afraid to get into war with nobody, even if that's Oprah herself. But get this, y'all. After Taraji basically dragged Oprah for filth and had literally everybody and their mama praising and supporting her, she backtracked on everything she said and started praising Oprah for being a beacon of light. Yeah, the same Oprah she just called out for not paying her. Like, you cannot make this up. She said, "Miss Oprah has been nothing less than a steady and solid beacon of light to all the cast of Color Purple. She told me personally to reach out to her for anything I needed, and I did. One call, one conversation, and one decision-making black woman to make me feel heard." People didn't fall for this one bit and immediately started speculating that Oprah and the studios forced Taraji into making this post so the Color Purple would not end up flopping from people boycotting. Once Oprah saw that Taraji's post didn't get people to be on her side, she took things to a whole nother level and posted her own photo of her and Taraji on her IG with the caption, "I've long admired Taraji. She can make you laugh, cry, cheer, and feel everything in between. But I had no idea she could sing. Taraji the actress, a force. Taraji the singer, a complete revelation. Taraji, the stage is now yours, and I already see the standing ovations for you. I'm fiercely welcoming Taraji to the Purple Sisterhood." Child, Oprah saw everybody was eating her up and acted very quickly. Oh, but that's not all. She recently also teased a sit-down interview with Taraji on her show, and people could not help but wonder if this was just another desperate attempt to convince the public that she's not the mean, greedy Hollywood puppet she's actually proven herself to be over the years.
I heard that after you were cast, that you prayed to God to help you to believe in yourself.
Yes.
Which is so interesting because, like, you are Taraji P Henson, you've done all of these iconic roles, people see in their mind, this is Cookie walking in there.
Right.
Why were you nervous about this?
Well, for me, one, I don't pick a role unless it scares me.
Ah.
Because fear is something to overcome.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be transformed in a way. And if I'm transformed, then the audience will be. So it has to move me to a place of fear. Like, if I'm not scared, then it's like, maybe that's too easy for me.
Wow.
It has to be challenging for me because I have to challenge the audience.
Yeah.
Chill. Oprah's PR team saw all the commotion online and decided to pull a stunt. Fans think she only dragged Taraji into this little show for damage control, and Taraji is playing right alongside it because she's scared of being blackballed like 50 and Monique. You can even see how uncomfortable she is just by watching the clip. Now, as for 50 and Monique, sources claim that all this BS orchestrated by Oprah to save herself. She's using and manipulating to play on with this so it'll save her image, just like she's using and manipulating everybody around her to get what she wants. They also accused Oprah of playing dirty and using other people as a stepping stone to get to where she is today. But can we really blame them for coming at Oprah like this? Everybody who's ever worked with Oprah rarely has anything nice to say. She has a very long track record of using people to get whatever she wants. Now, as usual, people had a whole lot to say about this mess, and baby, they did not hold back from dragging Oprah to Phil, like this person, who said, "I expected this from Oprah, but I did not expect it from Tyler Perry. Very sad and disappointing to hear about what I call straight-up financial abuse. I am shocked that Monique got paid so little for that amazing movie." Another person said, "This is why I love 50 Cent. He doesn't hold nothing back with anything. He keeps it 100. I used to like Oprah when I was younger and used to watch the TV shows with my mom. I thought she really stood up for black people, especially strong black women. But I see now, and been seeing it for years, that she only cares about herself, not letting anybody else grow in their own way to become their own legends. I lost total respect for Oprah and Tyler Perry. But now I want to know your thoughts on this whole mess. What do y'all think about 50 Cent and Monique going off on Oprah? And do you think this whole mess is going to be the downfall of Oprah?"
I got labeled as difficult because I said one word, and that was no. Now, I said no to some very powerful people. What Tyler Perry showed me, Lee Daniels, Oprah Winfrey, and Lionsgate. When you don't do what we ask you to do, we'll take your livelihood.
I haven't seen a raise in my income since Proud Mary. And almost had to walk away from Color Purple. Yes, ma'am. Who said what? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Because you know what? If I don't take a stand, how am I making it easy for Fantasia and Danielle and Hallie and Felicia? Then why am I doing this?
Y'all, it looks like Taraji might be throwing Monique under the bus and declaring her support for Oprah. Just days after she openly spoke about how Oprah had been lowballing her and threatening to ruin her career, she is now back on Oprah's team. Oh, and y'all remember how Monique offered her support to Taraji and threatened to expose Oprah? Well, Taraji is now speaking against Monique, and the streets are saying that she got that payola from Oprah, and that's why she's now throwing Monique under the bus. Y'all better come in and have a seat because it's giving tea.
Oprah is a human being. She bleeds, she breathes, and one day she'll expire. And if you feel like there's something you need to say to anyone, I feel like you should say it.
So it looks like Oprah is playing the divide and conquer game when it comes to the recent allegations that were brought against her by Taraji and Monique. And it looks like Oprah is playing chess while everybody else is still playing checkers. Now, in case y'all missed the tea, Oprah got dragged for filth after Taraji and a couple of other actresses in the industry came out to talk about how she treats them. It all started because she allegedly refuses to pay black actresses a fair living wage, even though they deserve it and she can clearly afford it. I mean, listen, she's literally a billionaire and it's not like she's struggling to make a movie. But anyways, the streets have been saying this about Oprah. Y'all know the stories about how Oprah underpays actresses and then she threatens them into silence, threatening to kill their careers and make sure that nobody would ever work with them in the industry. So it was either they keep their mouths shut and took the bad treatment, or they would have to wave their entire careers goodbye. Well, Taraji recently started the ball rolling when she spoke for the first time about things that were going on throughout her career, claiming that she had been underpaid in the industry for years. She revealed that she had been receiving the same pay since 2018, even though she had been getting more popular and getting more acknowledged in the industry. In the same interview, she claims that the offer she got from Oprah for The Color Purple was so low that she almost turned it down.
I haven't seen a raise in my income since Proud Mary. And almost had to walk away from Color Purple. Yes, ma'am. Who said what? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Because you know what? If I don't take a stand, how am I making it easy for Fantasia and Danielle and Hallie and Felicia? Then why am I doing this? If it's all just for me, why are you here?
Y'all,
People go, you work a lot. Yeah. Or have to. The math ain't mathin'.
But you know what's wild? This isn't some one-time thing. Black actresses have been shouting about this industry discrimination for ages. It's an ongoing battle because they're getting peanuts compared to their white counterparts, even though their achievements are on a whole nother level. Keke Palmer backed Taraji up in a long Instagram post where she revealed that black actresses often have to work multiple jobs just to make ends meet. She wrote, "The entertainment industry is just like any other industry. We run businesses to keep our brands afloat, us being the brand business. This is why no one can really have one job anymore. For an entertainment career, you may be like me, an actor, influencer, host, singer, speaker, etc. I keep a job because I have to." We all work multiple jobs and we make like some, but also because we have to. Having one job for anyone is not really an option, no matter what industry, unless you are like the top earner. And I mean, that's like Bill Gates and them, I suppose. Gabrielle Union also showed her support for Taraji on TikTok, where she talked about how black women in Hollywood have to work harder than anyone else for peanuts.
I'm a black actress and producer in Hollywood. Of course, I'm going to have to work until it's the end. Because we can't retire. We don't make enough.
Viola Davis has also chimed in on this conversation, putting the spotlight on how she's only getting a fraction of what's rightfully hers, even when everyone acknowledges her talents and the producers are fully aware that she should be making way more than what they're tossing her way. They know her worth, they're just not willing to pay her.
What they're getting paid, which is half of what a man is getting paid, well, we get probably a tenth of what a Caucasian woman gets. And I'm number one on the call sheet. And then I have to go in and I have to hustle for my worth. I said, yeah, but you can't compare me to you. Because once again, I got the Oscar, I got the Emmy, I got the 2 Tonys. I've done Broadway, I've done off-Broadway, I've done TV, I've done film, I've done all of it. I have a career that's probably comparable to Meryl Streep, Julianne Moore, Sigourney Weaver. They all came out of Yale. They came out of Juilliard. They came out of NYU. They had the same path as me. And yet, I am nowhere near them. Not as far as money, not as far as job opportunities, nowhere close to it. And yet, I have to constantly get on that phone, and I have fabulous agents, by the way. They are getting it. But I have to get on that phone, and people say, "You're a black Meryl Streep." You are, and we love you. We love you. There is no one like you. Okay, then if there's no one like me, you think I'm that? You pay me what I'm worth. You give me what I'm worth. And not...
Now, Viola Davis, who has been hailed as one of the greatest actresses of our generation, with an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony under her belt, is still wrestling career roadblocks. It's mind-boggling. At this stage, you'd think that she'd be beyond such struggles. Now, if Viola's dealing with this still, it makes you wonder how much worse Taraji's situation is, given her recent revelations. Now, let me tell you, Taraji seems to be in a really tough spot, holding back tears in the interview. Well, fans felt it was even worse when Oprah, a black woman who intimately understands the challenges faced by black women in the industry, ended up being accused of the same mistreatment. Now that's what's disturbing. Oprah's sitting pretty as a billionaire, not exactly bro. So why wouldn't she pay Taraji what she deserves? Why go out of her way to lowball Taraji when she could easily afford to pay? It's shady to say the least, and I'm not suggesting Oprah needed to drop $10 million, but surely she could have thrown some more peanuts. Now you'd think someone at the pinnacle of success in the industry would do better, but this isn't Oprah's first dance with accusations of lowballing black women. She played a similar card with Monique after they collaborated on Precious, and that's why Monique tried to team up with Taraji to take Oprah down. Now, for those of you who don't know or not in the know, allegedly Oprah not only got Monique blacklisted in the industry, but she also took a swing at messing up Monique's entire life. The drama started in 2009 when Monique starred in Precious, a film produced by Oprah and Tyler Perry, 2 black billionaires in Hollywood. The movie struck gold, becoming a hit, and Oprah and Tyler decided decided to capitalize on the success with an international press tour to squeeze out even more publicity. Now, press tours are normal in the industry biz because they're a solid way to give an extra boost to movies. Many films roll out elaborate plans that often include press tours by the main cast. So when Oprah and Tyler asked Monique to do a press tour, it wasn't exactly unheard of. Now here's the twist. Monique got hit with the news that she wouldn't be pocketing a dime for the press tour because she wasn't going to be paid. But that's not all, because not only was she expected to work for free, but she was also supposed to dip into her own pockets during the press runs, covering most if not all of her expenses. Now this isn't the norm. Usually actors don't have to pay out of pocket because the production covers all these costs, but Oprah wasn't feeling generous and tried to strong-arm Monique into paying out of her own pocket. Yeah, the same Monique she lowballed for her role in Precious in the first place. For some baffling reason, Oprah and Tyler Perry, both swimming in millions, thought it was alright for Monique to cough up her own cash to promote a movie they made millions from. Yeah, the math just wasn't checking out, and Monique wasn't having it. She put her foot down, flat out refusing to work without getting paid. But Monique, standing her ground, allegedly didn't sit well with Oprah, and allegedly Oprah decided to take it up a notch and get Monique canceled in the industry. Now legally, Oprah couldn't force Monique to work for free, but she could make life incredibly challenging for her, and that's allegedly exactly what she did. Rumor has it she's pulled strings with media outlets to spin stories about Monique having a diva attitude and being a tough person to work with. Now, while Oprah didn't directly accuse Monique of being a diva and impossible to work with, she hinted strongly at it in an interview where she was asked why she didn't address the Monique situation. She said, "It's impossible. It's a law that if you meet negative with negative, you will have a combustive negative force of energy. You can't meet negative energy where it is. You have to rise above it. You have to transcend it. You have to be the light. It only takes a little bit of light to banish the darkness, and it takes a lot of darkness to overcome the light. It takes just a little bit of light, and we are warriors of the light. I would never stoop to try to meet somebody where they are negatively. Don't care who they are." Oprah didn't just throw shade at Monique, she went all in, allegedly rallying others to join the bandwagon and blacklist Monique. Now, word on the street is that she even threw around threats, warning folks in the industry that their careers would be over if they didn't steer clear of Monique. In an interview with Steve Harvey, Monique did not hold back, calling him out for playing both sides. Despite Steve allegedly privately expressing support and having her back, he threw her under the bus in public, claiming he couldn't help because she supposedly burned too many bridges.
Happened to be my manager. We got labeled as difficult because I said one word, and that was no. Now, I said no to some very powerful people. I said no to Oprah Winfrey. I said no to Tyler Perry. I said no to Lee Daniels. And I said no to Lionsgate. And the difficulty came in when people that look like me, like Oprah, Tyler, Lee Daniels, and I gotta put my brother Steve on the list. Y'all knew I was not wrong. Each one of you said to me, "Monique, you're not wrong." And when I heard you go on the air and you said, "My sister done burnt too many bridges, and there's nothing I can do for her now."
But the low blows didn't stop there, and Oprah allegedly took a jab at Monique's personal life by dredging up painful memories of her traumatic experience as a child. And allegedly, Oprah stooped very low, hitting Monique with some personal shots. In case it slipped your mind, Monique has been quite open about how she experienced trauma at the hands of her own brother when she was just a child. She has spoken about it in a couple of interviews where she said stuff like, "I was essayed by my older brother, and even when I confronted him and told my parents, he said I was lying and nothing was really done." Her parents didn't believe her, and this is why Monique doesn't have a close relationship with her family now. Now, Oprah was fully aware of the drama and the horrible things that Monique had experienced, yet she chose to bring Monique and her brother on her show for a public showdown. Now, I don't know what Oprah was trying to achieve, but Monique understandably declined the invitation. But Oprah went ahead and brought in her brother and parents to discuss how he supposedly mistreated Monique, and this is what he said.
Monday's Oprah show, Monique's older brother Gerald comes clean about sexually abusing his sister.
Why do you want to be here today, Gerald?
I'm here today to first acknowledge what I've been in denial for 37 years. And that is, I did assault and inappropriately touch my sister in manners that were not comfortable for her. And for that, I apologize.
But as Monique later told Barbara Walters, she never really got an apology from her brother, at least not an honest one.
Did your brother ever apologize to you?
The apology that I got from my brother is, if you think I did something wrong, then I'm sorry.
Yeah, if this is true, then Oprah was definitely moving weird with Monique. And according to her, the reason Oprah pulled that move was that she wanted to humiliate her.
It was in our moment. I shared with her that me and my mother was not talking. I shared with her we were in a really bad place. I shared with her I was hurt and, you know, trying to figure this thing out. She never said my mother was coming on that show, because had Oprah Winfrey said, I'm gonna have your mother, I would have said, shut it down. I don't need the world seeing how greedy my mother is.
Now at this point, an insider revealed that Monique had reached out to Taraji privately to team up and expose Oprah together and take her down. Now at first, Taraji was receptive to it because she was getting tired of being lowballed and she genuinely believed that she could change things. But then she randomly did a quick U-turn and started praising Oprah again. She wrote, "It is so important for Black women and all women of color to support each other. It is also imperative to have women of color in decision-making positions across all industries. Miss Oprah has been nothing less than a steady and solid beacon of light to all of the cast of The Color Purple." She continued, "She has provided encouragement, guidance, and unwavering support to us all. She told me personally to reach out to her for anything I needed, and I did. It took one call, one conversation, and one decision-making Black woman to make me feel heard. Thank you, Miss Oprah, for all that you do." So how did she go from complaining about The Color Purple pay and Oprah lowballing her and teaming up with Monique to praising Oprah? Well, according to an insider, it involved a very fat paycheck from Oprah to Taraji. That was the reason Taraji started praising Oprah. Oh, and that whole teaming up with Monique thing, well, it's now permanently trashed because now then everyone was clowning her. I'm all here for Taraji and her getting paid fairly and her speaking out, but y'all did Monique in so bad when she spoke out. Shaking my head, I don't like that. And I ain't forget either. Now everybody in the acting world is going through what she was screaming about alone. And when Monique was speaking out, Taraji was collecting. How ironic. Yeah, there's a lot going on here, but y'all let me know how you feel about Taraji betraying Monique like this. And then check out this next video.
Man, I don't know. What I'm gathering from all this is that Oprah just flat out will not pay the people what they're worth. You have 50 Cent chiming in and say, listen, y'all come work with me. I guarantee you, I will pay you what you're worth. Taraji P, Monique, come on, let's do this. So shout out to 50 Cent, man. And I hope that Miss Oprah Winfrey can find it in her heart to do the right thing. You know, she's a billionaire. Come on, man. Paying Taraji P Henson and Monique, you know, what they're worth is not going to be nothing to her. You seen her on her shows. You get a car. You get a car. You know how it went down, man. When kings talk, the conversation different, man. All I be trying to find out is what's really going on, man. I need y'all to help me. You know what I'm saying? We in this thing together. Let's figure it out, man. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, man, so you can get notified every time your boy drops some juice and we can figure it out together. Shout out to all y'all that keep tapping in with me, man. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you share the video, man. And peace, love, and blessings to all y'all. We out.